Good afternoon, friends. First of all, I would like to thank Swati and team in HDFC Bank putting this wonderful program together. In fact, they started last year, so give them a big round of applause. They always say small is beautiful. Though it's a small gathering, I'm sure we are going to share knowledge with each other. And I dedicate this presentation to Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, father of library science, and because of him, we have such wonderful libraries across the country. Let us give them the heavens. And in fact, I can proudly say that one gentleman from library field deserves Bharat Ratna, which means Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. We all should try for it. At some point in time, the kind of volume of work that he has done, I don't think in any other field anybody can match it. Being a mathematics professor, coming into library science field and doing this. And straight away coming to today's topic, in fact, Swati spoke to me informally. I suggested this theme, opportunities for LIS professionals in the AA era, the road ahead. Whether you like it or not, today we are living in AA era, right? So we can't run away from this. As library science professionals, we should know what has happened so far, where do we stand today, and where we want to take it ahead. That's for the topic which I chose, which says impact of AA and library and information services, preparing for the future. Whenever we say there is an impact, means something has already happened, right? Without that, we cannot say impact. Something has already happened, we know about it, we need to know about it, and where do we stand currently, and where we want to go ahead as LS professionals. Next slide, please. So I have a presentation outline here. Normally, whenever I go, there is a kind of a structure in thought process. Apart from giving introduction to LIS technology evolution, we will talk about artificial intelligence, the technology, how it got evolved, and AI and its impact on library and information services. What are the current trends? And if you want to take it AI ahead, which are the areas of importance where we need to look in as LIS professionals? And what are the opportunities and challenges that we are currently facing, and how you can overcome them? And some of the AI tools which are in use in libraries, LIS field, that we can go through one by one. And in order to implement that, in case if you want to take AI as a tool in your library services, how you can approach. So I've recommended some 10 steps, which we'll go through. Then we'll conclude. If time permits, I'll show a couple of screenshots from some of the international websites on the same topic. Next slide, please. Just look at this LIS technology revolution. So we without history, nothing, right? So we started with clay tables in good old days, historically, then moved on to form-based manuscripts, then paper-based material, then printing technology came, worldwide revolution of knowledge sharing has taken place after that. Then we moved into microfilms, and microfilms are preserving archival materials, library material. Then library automation came in somewhere in 1980s, right, 88, 85, 88. Then we started introducing CD-ROMs and DVDs in libraries as a kind of storage medium to preserve our library resources. Then we moved on to digitizing library collection. You may have an archive, you have a books collection, whatever, digitization technology came into this. Then in today's era, we have got born digital content. For example, our e-paper archives, wherever you have online and born digital content, we are preserving that as well. Then we moved on to giving online library services. You subscribe to certain resources through your library, it could be EBSCO, Emerald, whatever. So we made it available through your library setup. That's called online services. Then we have also, as library community, started using Web 2.0 technology. This social media use in libraries, it could be Facebook, it could be Twitter, sharing content through WhatsApp, which is also social media. Then currently we are talking about mobile apps have started in libraries. Many libraries have developed their own app, mobile apps. If you are a library member, go to that app, everything can be done through that app. Then we are talking about AI-based tools in libraries and information services. This is where we stand today. And I just want to make a suggestion to all the participants here. Whichever image that I have taken, I have given a copyright credit. So wherever you go, we are living in AI era today. Tomorrow, if you go for a presentation, you are writing something, always give credit to the source. Right. Otherwise, one can easily pick up. Every single image I would have given this. This I thought I should suggest as the best practice. Go to the next slide, please. Okay, we all know Dharmendra was talking about this artificial intelligence started somewhere in 1956. Professor John McCarthy from Stanford University, he is the one who coined the term artificial intelligence. What he said, the science and engineering coming together, making intelligent machine. That was the idea. Though it took so many years, the way it has been implemented today within the last 2-3 years, the kind of rapid growth that it has taken up. So much research has gone into this. And it is basically an AI is an umbrella term, not a single technology. Right? It's not like library automation, you talk about only one technology. machine learning, natural language processing, voice recognition, and computer vision. These are the 4 basic technologies put together. We talk about AI. And with human intelligence, though these machines have been created, they are much advanced than human. Someday it will beat human, what we can think, what we can do. AI is much better than us. We are already competing with it, just starting, correct? It's going to take over everything. And AI technology has been widely used in many places. Video technology, and self-driving cars. Now all these automated cars are coming with AI. Chatbots are already popular. Online shopping. You go to a shopping website today. But the moment you come out from there, you will get 10 different messages because they are keeping a track of what you already purchased, what you want to buy, what you can buy, and that kind of recommendations are coming. And even some places like traffic signals. Today cameras are enabled with AI technology. People can watch, face can recognize, people cannot escape. All those things are already there. But coming back to library, we are like pioneers in whichever technology came in. I gave you the examples of various technologies we have used over the years. Similarly, we are already taking steps in implementing AI in our own setup. That is what the talk is all about today. And worldwide, several libraries have already taken initiatives. I'll show some of the examples where some successful experiments have been already done. And now let us look at what are the current trends. Hardcore library areas where all we can use it. AI as a technology. For example, IFLA has set up a kind of a home separate microsite on AI use cases in library field. There are about 30 different case studies out there, out of which you can pick and choose which are the areas they have implemented kind of thing. I have given the reference in my presentation. I would request Swati to share this presentation with all of them so that they get additional material for further reading. As information professionals, already somebody talked about in classification and cataloging, AI is being already used. Well, it has already started. So you can come out with precise search results and things like that. And library operations, for example, robotic process automation (RPA) it stands out. In some of the videos I've seen foreign libraries where robots are shelving the books. You don't have to put a human being. There are multi-story buildings and things like, for example, British Library UK and National Library of Australia, Library of Congress. They have bunkers, library system and things like that. So it's already being used. And the next area would be user services. If you go to library website, chatbots are already there. Somebody was talking about reference service will always be there, but with an enhancement through AI. So that will always stay. And data and AI literacy. In fact, if you want to educate your own library users about AI use, same AI tools are already available, which is being used everywhere. And library analytics. We got library statistics, collection development, your library collection use, user behavior she was talking about. You can always use that. Next slide. And use of AI tools in LIS, areas of importance, where we should focus. These are just some recommendations. First is curation and user recommendation systems. There is something called knowledge curation. Today you may have any number of resources in your library, but we as library professionals should know how to curate this content and make it available to your library users. For example, in Times of India, I got our library users across the country. And in media organization, time is money, they don't have time. So I put my team, identify some of the relevant material, curate them and share it with, which was a manual process. Today I can use AI tools to curate those content and come out with summaries and things like that, send it across. So that is one example. And information search and retrieval can be, process can be improved through AI tools. And digital archiving, digital preservation. Working in a media library today, media organization today, we got millions of archival content, photographs, cartoons, published material, clippings and stuff like that. In good old days, it's a manual digitization process, metadata tagging and indexing kind of thing. Now we are exploring the possibilities of using AI tools and enhance the existing facilities. That would be possible in the near future. Chatbots and virtual assistant, which we already talked about, to help your library users. And text analysis and data mining. Suppose somebody is working in an academic institution, your student thesis and stuff are already available. Maybe you already digitized. Can you put that to a good uses using AI tools? That is the area one has to look into. For example, like Dharmendra was giving Exim Bank, he has a lot of reports and stuff like that. He already said that he is trying to use it. So those are the areas where we can use for text analysis. Content creation and content generation. Particularly in media organization, we are supposed to create content. We are not only we have to create content, we have to share it with the wider world. Mass media means meant for public. Then also using AI tools, whether you can improve our accessibility. For example, I got a digital archive of photographs and cartoons collection available. Currently, which is available only for our internal users. If you want to make it available to wider audience, even if they want to pay for it, can I use AI tools to take it to the next level? That is the area that we are looking at. And predictive analytic, collection management areas. For example, we have got in good old days something called withdrawal of library books. How do you do that? You say how many times particular book has been borrowed, whether it has been borrowed or not borrowed, whether somebody has used. Those manual process can be now automated through AI tools, so that you can come out with a collection development policy which not only matches your organization goals, also matches your organization budget as well. Today, library is a luxury in most of the corporate organizations, whether it is HDFC or even Times of India today. So we need to be very careful. We can use it. And security and fraud detection, which could be like some scholarly article written by somebody by picking up the content from AI, or somebody's copied the content, which can be easily detected through using an AI tool. And language translation, of course. Whether you work in, he gave an example, he was dealing with somebody in Andhra Pradesh, they cannot communicate in English and things like that. Today you can prepare a document, put it in an AI tool, it translates and gives it within no time. Next slide, come back to that. This one image which I put from Harvard Business Review, an April issue, which talks about in general 10 AI use cases. Which are the top 10 areas people are, in general, they are using AIs. So when you look at this, those are the 10 areas people used to come for a library also for getting information. That is why I wanted to relate that. What for people are coming to library even today? Look at all those areas which they have identified. I would strongly recommend, I given this reference in my presentation, go through this entire article, it's worth reading from our business review. Next slide please. Now let us quickly look at what are the opportunities that we have through AI in LIS and what are some of the major challenges. I'm sure most of you would have also gone through this. Look at the opportunity side. AI in libraries is exciting. We all are excited. We want to use it. In fact, whenever some new technology came in, whether it is library automation or simple search engine like Google, when it came, we are the one. Librarians are in the forefront. We are the one we started using it, then we started educating our library users also. Same is the case here as well. And in libraries, it's encouraging us. And AI can create, change, and destroy jobs. Somebody was saying people may lose their job. Yes, if you don't upgrade yourself along with the AI technology, whether you can use it or not, you may lose your job. So long as we know how to upgrade ourselves, definitely we will never lose our job. Okay, that's one thing. And the AI could enhance user experiences. At the end of the day, whether you got a library in HDFC or whether you got a library in Tata Memorial Center in Times of India, it is meant for the library users. Could be faculty member, researchers, and doctors, any common man who walks into Times of India library as an organization. So using AI tools, we can enhance the user experience. That is what matters. And intelligent web and mobile search facilities. If you've got a library website, enhance it through an AI tool. If you've got a mobile app, enhance it through AI tool. That is possible today. And data stewardship. A man was giving an example. They have got multi-volume of data and multiple sources and things like that. Today, it's impossible to do anything manually. But within an organization like library people, we can take the leadership and help the organization to manage the data through an AI tool. That is also possible. Those are the future areas where we can find employment, we can find job opportunities as well. Data stewardship and smart knowledge discovery systems. I was giving some examples from my archives. For example, I got cartoons collections, cartoons and caricatures. Whether I can use an AI tool to make it available, people can do an easy search and reviews and things like that, repurpose the content, all those things are possible. And automated user interactions in 24/7. Through library website we already have. Using AI even make it better and personalized. If a doctor walks into the Tata Memorial Library, he is a non-college specialist, he should get that content. Similarly, if somebody walks into my website, in Times of India, an organization, if somebody is writing about sports and entertainment, he should get that, that type of content. That's what we are talking about. And similarly, smart library space management. I'm talking about physical space. You won't believe me, like this morning while I was coming, there's a new AI tool called Perplexity AI, right? Which is available now free along with if you have got an Airtel subscription. I'm not brand ambassador for both of them. Though I have an Airtel connection, I keep using it, okay? And today, in fact, just prompting he was talking about, I gave a prompting saying that I got a 10,000 square feet space. I want to create a new library setup wherein I want to put books, periodicals, and DVDs and manuscript. This is the kind of definition I gave. This smart system, within 2 minutes, it generated a floor plan for me, exactly explaining that it assumes that I have a major part is books. Give 30% space for book, 15% space for periodical, 10% for DVDs, and 12% for manuscripts. Then there is a reading room area for people to refer, restroom and everything. Not only it gave me the complete plan while coming in the morning in the train, only I did this, and it gave me a complete floor plan as well. All I had to do was...
Is this breakup very much clear to what?
Everything is very, you can try. You can do the same thing. And all I have to do was, in case tomorrow if I want to set up, I have to go to my architect team and tell them, boss, I have already done this basic work. Now you tell me what best you can do on this. That is the beauty of this tool. So I just wanted to relate that to space management. Today, whether you are sitting in this big corporate office or in Times of India building, we don't have space for libraries. So we need to always, evaluate and do how much space we need to occupy, how we can make it. So you can use these AI tools here. Coming on the challenges side, it's always frightening. People think that one thing is that we may lose our job, or how I'm going to learn this and things like that. So that one should always overcome. Sometimes it is confusing. Today I come and talk here as a person that I use certain tools. Somebody else talks, other person is saying something because it's work in progress today. So we need to be very careful before using any of the AI tools. We should get a clear understanding and get on with it. Then AI tools also like change management issues. But in my team, suppose I got 5 people, I won't take the name. 4 maybe enthusiastic, one person will say, I will not change any of this. Let me work in the old way only. So those are the issues we need to overcome. And data challenge for large language model learning models. Like the kind of data what you feed into AI tool, that is the thing that will come as an output. If you don't have an high quality data, we are not going to get an high quality output. That is important. Then technically informed workflow challenges. The moment, say for example, like tomorrow we are going to introduce an AI tool in terms of India Archives and Knowledge Center, then we need to make the changes also. Maybe some people will be shifted to another work area. We need to understand all that. Those are the challenges one has to overcome. Then of course ethical and copyright issues and things like that. Today all these AI tools, there are multiple cases are pending against all of these tools. They picked up the content from publishing houses and media houses and other content. That is how they can give an output. So still it's not very clear. And absolute LIS professional competencies. Today, whether you work for an organization like University of Mumbai, you work for a Times of India, you work for Tata Institute, you have to upgrade your competence and skills. Otherwise, we will not be able to survive. Next slide. Now, this is the core slide of my entire presentation. In case if you want, because it has to be a scientific process. Whether you want to do a library automation, whether you want to digitize, whether you want to introduce an AI tool, it has to be a step-by-step process which we need to clearly go through in a scientific way. There are 10 action points which I am recommending here. I am a crazy person. I always pick up some, terms or keywords starting with a particular letter. Here I picked up everything starting with A. So let me explain it. The aim, objective, and goal of this AI project should be for the betterment of library and information services. Correct? You should not be crazy. I want to start something to do with AI. No. If at all you want to do something, it has to improve your facilities. It has to improve whatever was already there, which is why I am saying for the betterment of library and information services. Second thing is analyze the needs and application areas. For example, you want to use AI in your library. First of all, identify what is the need, where you want to use it. You want to use it in collection development, you want to use it for digitization, you want to use it for general library automation process. So that has to be done properly. Then align and re-address LIS policies. Because in libraries, whichever library you have got collection development policies, correct, wherever you go, if you are going to introduce AI-based tools, there may be some changes. So you need to come out with a proper policy for that. And you have to get clearance from the top management as well. And adopt the best practices from other libraries. For example, in this conference, somebody comes and talks and says, I've done something good, it's working for me. Immediately you should pick up that. You don't have to reinvent something. Some best practices already there in AI implementation case studies, you should pick up that. Then allocate the right budget. When you are doing something, for example, in the next financial year, I want to introduce AI tool. So I have to put that much budget provision in my library budget itself. Otherwise, you can't do it because it's going to be very expensive. Though it's a free tool and things like that, if you want to do that, you have to have that kind of money. Acquire the necessary resources and tools. Sometimes when you say resources, you could be getting additional manpower also. Somebody, an AI expert, comes and joins Times Archives and Knowledge Center. He will take forward the entire project that I am talking about. Then apply AI tools effectively and efficiently. Having spent money, having done all this, it has to be done in a more systematic way so that the outcome comes, so that you can reach your goal. Then ask the right questions. Before implementing AI tools, ask why you want to do this. During the implementation stages, also ask the right question. Everything is happening properly. After implementation, also ask the same kind of question, whether it's working properly or not. Correct? These are the things that we need to focus. Allow the LIS staff and users to have their say. For example, in a bigger team, library manager should not take the lead in most of the cases. My job is to tell these are the things that we are supposed to do. Take feedback from the library team, feedback from the library users. They are the one they are going to tell you whether it's working or not. Correct? Then finally, we should be amicable. Be ready for the changes. Because if you don't want to change in the AI era, you have to either change your job or you may lose your job. Either of this thing will happen. I'm not threatening. Next slide. And as part of the conclusion, I would like to say, we all know that AI has already become an integral part of LIS. A simple Google search that you do today, what are the first thing that comes? Through Google Gemini, you are getting a curated output comes. So in good old days, we used to rely on top 10 output, top 10 search output, right? That has gone now. You are exactly getting what you are looking for in the first screen itself. So we are already relying on that. And the integration of AI surely improves in traditional library services. Because traditional library services are always good. In fact, when I walked into HDFC, there is a beautiful reading space and things like that. Despite that, people may not come. So you have to use AI tool and get them inside. Make something possible that way. And AI tools have overall transformative impact on LIS. It is going to change the entire thing. What we used to do 10 years back is not going to continue. It is going to change. And it promises a bright future for libraries. People should not worry. In fact, library is the place which will continue only in a new avatar, right? It is going to change. And also LIS school ma'am was talking about it, because in LIS curriculum you need to bring an additional input about how to use AI as a tool in libraries and information centers and archives. That has to become part of the curriculum, for which industry and academic interaction should take place. And we need to upskill ourselves. Those who are working in libraries, we can't sit and relax. We need to upskill ourselves. And finally, we need to, what's our job? Continue to connecting customers with content. Our library users are no longer library users. They are our own customers. Do you all agree? In good old days, we used to say users. They are not users. They are our customers. They are our internal customers. The same kind of mentality we should have, which is why I'm saying connecting customers with content and save their time. This is what Dr. Ranganathan always used to say, save the time of the library users. And in this AI era, when we librarians remain always intelligent, I'm giving a new AI. Because we librarians, if somebody works in education, she's a specialist in banking and information system. If I'm working in Times of India, I'm a media library specialist. She was an, she's much better than any of the professors in that field. The way we saw the presentation in the medical field. So that is what I'm talking about. We are always intelligent people, but we should try to use AI as an additional tool. And what's our objective? Our library users can be more intelligent. They are also intelligent. We are intelligent. We want to make our library users also more intelligent. That is our final objective. Now, a few more slides, then I'll conclude. And this slide is only to pay tribute to Dr. S.R. Ranganathan on his birthday. And we are celebrating this Librarians Day. And he is the only one library person who has got a postal stamp also. If I'm wrong, correct me. He is the only one library professional who has got a government of India has released a postal stamp. He said, we all know this 5 laws of library science. Even today, it's relevant. End of the day, we are there to save the time of the library users. In the AI is playing a very significant role. And few screenshots I'll show from. These are the references that I have put. In fact, this is my entire presentation. I have not used any of the AI tools. I stuck to our hardcore research work, going through secondary research. And I've given all the references with the link. You can check anytime. And next slide, a few more slides. Zenando. This gives an overview about AI at the British Library. In UK, what they have done, how they are using kind of thing. So you will get this, when you get this presentation, you can go to this site and check this. Next slide. This actual, what do you call it? Sorry. Just come back. It says, close the session. So this is from British Library, their own, the specific, what you call, microsite on, AI usage and things like that. Next. Oxford University has got a special section for people to learn about AI. You can go there if you want to understand what is AI, different type of AI tools, how does AI mean, how to learn AI and things like that. Next. This again from Oxford students, that's a separate portal. Use of generative AI tools in supporting learning and learning and education and research. Next. This is from Harvard Business School. Learn with Becker Library. The library name is Becker Library, and generative AI for MBA students. If they want to make use of it, what are the contents and tools and things like that. Next. This is from Stanford University. They have got a specific dedicated section on integrating generative AI tools in library collections and how to improve and stuff like that. This is where we are. Thank you very much for the opportunity. As I said, this entire presentation is based on what is my understanding of AI use in libraries, as well as based on the content already available based on a secondary research. And as a final, what you call positive note, I want to say and conclude this. Whether AI comes or any new technology comes, as long as we stay focused on our hardcore LIS skills, that is to support the library users, we will always have a bright future. Thank you very much.